Hey guys, welcome to BP, the Bible Perspective. Conservative talk show host Rush Limbaugh died today at the age of 70 from lung cancer. His reach and impact on the conservative talk show movement, as well as the conservative movement in America, will be felt for many generations to come. The other problem to me is that his influence on white evangelical Christians is even more troubling. In other words, if you want to understand why and how evangelical Christians think today, you can just listen to Rush Limbaugh. Let me play you just one clip.
For you. If any race of people should not have guilt about slavery, it's Caucasians. The white race has probably had fewer slaves and for a briefer period of time than any other in the history of the world. No other race has ever fought a war for the purpose of ending slavery, which we did. Nearly 600,000 people killed in the Civil War. It's preposterous that Caucasians are blamed for slavery when they've done more to end it than any other race.
Now, the problem with what he is saying is that, one, among a lot of things, of course, is it's like saying you start a fire and then pat yourself on the back for putting the same fire out that you started, let alone the damage you caused. But I want you to pay attention to the last statement that he said. That why should white Americans be ashamed or have guilt over slavery? The reason why I played that clip is because this is the exact same sentiment, and in some cases almost word for word, that I hear from white evangelical Christians. You heard it from all spectrums, whether it's the Jerry Falwells. The list can go on and on and on. The point is that Rush spoke to me that and energized that unabashed whiteness in evangelicals, which, by the way, should have been put to death in Christ. Another issue is that you can almost say that Rush, in some respects, was like the forerunner of Trump. This is what I mean. Why were Christians so willing to disregard Trump's sins, faults, adulteries, everything that evangelicals stand for? Trump wasn't, but they were willing to follow him. Well, they were kind of primed for that in personalities like Rush Limbaugh. You just heard it. They were willing to disregard Limbaugh's drug addiction, the fact that he was arrested for almost in a sense doctor shopping, looking to buy drugs. You could almost, he even had his maid act somewhat as a drug mule to go and get his drugs, which he later admitted to being addicted to pain pills. But of course, because of his privilege, he was able to not do any jail time. Okay, why were Christians willing to disregard all of that? Because Rush spoke their language, and it wasn't the language of the gospel. Now, you can also say in the greater sense it was the language of conservatism. But then you got to say, well, what is conservatism? What is white conservatism in America? Because that's the language that even now Fox News speaks, Newsmax, Trump speaks. Even though Trump is not a true believer in conservatism, it got him votes, it got him support. Rush Limbaugh was a true conservative. And even though flawed, and we're talking about sinful, Christians were willing to support that because he spoke their language. And as I said, it wasn't the gospel. So if you want to understand how, if you want to understand evangelicals, if you understand how they think today and why they supported Trump, look to people like Rush. And that's a shame. That is not a compliment. That's my perspective. Don't forget to like and share this video. And subscribe to BP, the Bible Perspective. And as always, if you have a thought or comment, add it to the comments section below. All comments are welcome. Till next time, I'll see you then.